Hold on. I gotta bring this board over. Then I can put myself on it. I put myself on the stand. Still not high enough. Fuck. I hate this. Fuck! Alright, head straight. Get the hair out of the way. Half my live stream is all these things going wrong. Alright. Head straight. Straight. Fuck. Alright. Hi, everyone. Welcome to my live stream. It's me, Jordan Long here. And first, I want to say sorry for everything. I had to fuck around to get a likeness for my live stream that I thought I was gonna like. And then I had to bring this board over, put her down underneath it, and then start filming. Now I know you will ask the asking thing even before you write it down in the shout out box. Why am I not doing this film through the Y, doing it through the Euro tool, through the Y speaker, through its web shooter, whatever? Because the sound pack is like at 80. And if I would do it, it would then start going into the 70s and into the 60s. So I'm going to have to go and mic this up. So that's why I'm not doing it through my Y speaker right now. So hopefully that answers the asking thing. So anyway, yeah, I know it's no need how far I pull this doll stand up, no need how far I bend. I'm just the web. I just can't see myself very well. So that's the way that it looks like. Well, I do got another stand that I can offshoot myself on, but I don't think this stand's gonna, be any more helpful than the stand before it. See, too high. And even if I do this, see, it's still too high. What the fuck? See, it doesn't work. So. See, fuck this. These two doll stands do not work. The only other doll stand I have is this one. And none of them, see, too high. Okay, this is too low. This won't work. There's nothing I can do. Like if I pull this up, it's going to be too high. It won't reach it. My head will be crooked. See? Oh. So sorry that this live stream isn't flawless and happens to have all kinds of things go wrong in it. Things that would run other folks off. It goes Jordan. And that was a round over film with Xena today. Yes, it was. It was. I was in a film with my godmother, Xena. And it's true. I don't know how to swim. I'm 42 years old, and I do not know how to swim. And that's what that whole film was all about for anyone who that my godmother Zena did make. Um, Now I know that other folks out there will say, "Well, Jordan, why can't? Why does nothing never ever go right in your film? Because that's life." Now, if I was one of those folks that's into their shit being flawless, which you can never get anything in life to be flawless, if I was one of those folks out there that was always worried about their work being flawless, folks that have to skim and cut and clean every single thing in their film, stand up. Yeah, then they'd be all over this shit. They'd be freaking out by now, saying, "Oh, I gotta skim this out, I gotta cut that out, I gotta shift this out, I gotta do all this shit." They'd be all over that shit. Yeah, they would be. That's what they would be, you know. And I don't do that. My uploads, my live streams, my shorts, they get filmed as things happen, you know. And you're going to hear all kinds of folks that tell you, "Oh, well, now you know why you don't get a lot of folks watching your uploads, your live streams and shorts, because you didn't skim this out, you didn't cut this out, you know, you didn't put enough tags in this, you didn't hashtag this enough times, you know." Well, first off, you know, if the website can't get your films out to the right folks, then that's the website's mistake. I just make uploads, live streams, and shorts. And if folks watch them, well, then that's good. But I have no running lead over what happens after that. You know, yes, I do send a hashtag. Is it the right one? Who knows? And I do tag my films, but we all know tags don't really do anything these days when it comes to one's upload, live streams, or shorts. And as far as skimming or cutting or cleaning my films, I don't do that. I never will. All right? Takes too much time, too hard, and not one of those folks that, "Oh, I gotta get Galda and income." The only way folks will watch my work is if I've skimmed and cleaned and shifted it. But I don't do that, you know. So now I'm going to talk about something that it says, "Hi, Jordan Long." Well, thank you, Aaron Wensberg, thank you. Um, anyway, now I'm going to talk about something that you folks probably would, well, it's not bad or anything, but it's just something that you have your own belief or thought on. So I know that I write books. I write sagas and tales. All right, lover tales, lover sagas, things, nothing scaled, anything like that. And I don't think I'm a good writer. I'm not good at coming up with salves or sagas or tales or, really good shit. I'm not good at all the things that everybody else is either good at or skilled at or whatever. But I like my work though. Now I know some folks are going to say, "Oh, how you write?" Well, I write like a beginner, but I've been writing like that for, well, 42 years, you know. And I know there's going to be someone out there saying, "Oh, well, how about a skimmer?" A skimmer, he or she isn't cannot help me. They can come up with thoughts and beliefs of what I should do with my work, but there's no way that I can do any of the things that they would come up with. And at least and you see, I write for fun, so I don't have to worry about dead rows and skimmers and for layers and all that fun shit. I don't have to worry about ownership or double write or anything like that. It said, "Hey, you got a great shirt on." Well, thank you. It's my Mattel uh, Barbie doll myself, you know. So, yeah. So I don't really think I'm that crafting. I mean, yes, I do come up with things. And I'm not putting myself down or my work down. And I'm just telling you, I don't think that I'm as good at my work as, other folks are. You know, the belief is, and this is my belief, that I think every film business, every play business, every show business, I guess, every skilled wrestling business, and even writers on their own are all more good than me. I look at their work and I go, why can't I write like them? And the truth is, I cannot. That's my skill. I'm a beginner. I've been that way for writing for like 42 years that way. Well, I can see that no one's going to say anything about it. So now a lot of folks will say, well, Jordan, you've been doing films like this for 12 years. Why you don't get burned out? Because I still like coming on and making uploads and live streams and shorts. I don't get burned out coming on doing this. You know, I didn't I didn't get into something that I couldn't do anything with, or I couldn't shift in any way, because I could. You always hear about folks that start on here, and then they get burned out because they can't think of what to talk about or what film to make on or whatever. Well, everybody has whatever. And now we talk about these so-called Euro wise men or wise women, folks who have this wisdom. They go, "Oh, you know why your films aren't getting a lot of looking, and why a lot of folks aren't thumbing them up and playlisting them and watching them and all that good shit?" They'll say, "Well, you didn't put too many hashtags down, you didn't put too many tags down, you didn't skim this out, you didn't have a good opening, a good closing, you didn't come up with a good name for your film or what your film's about." All kinds of forgivenesses, you know. Well, I don't really care. I have no running lead over how the website sends my uploads. I have no running lead over where they go after I upload them. I believe that they go to whoever's following me, but I have no running lead if someone watches them or not. Yeah, and Euros believe all my films are bad. They're no good. No one likes them. Well, that could be the website's belief of the work. But you see, the thing is, they're like, they'll say things like, well, you don't know who you're making films for. I don't know. Folks just like to hear about shit that happens every day, only instead it's a doll talking about everyday shit. I don't know what kind of folks I'm making films for, to be honest with you. Um, and they might say things like, oh, well, you should go and look and see everybody else and what they're doing. Yeah, I do. And they're mostly doing the same. Yeah, I do. But there isn't any way for me to take any thought away from what anyone else is doing. And I can't make it work. But then again, they're like, oh, there's already too many folks in true life that do this every day. Yeah, there is. But none of them are dolls, though. All right. So, anyway, I just want to say that sorry I talked about that, but it always happens to be those kind of folks that always bring up, this wisdom shit, you know. And I know that, oh, I'm never gonna, you know, it goes, hello, Jordan, cool, live stream, thumbs up, thank you. Well, I know that I'm never ever going to get a award that says, because I don't know, because I'll never meet that standard of how many followers to have to even get the award. And And nowadays, it would be this little tiny golden thing that you just put on your wall. And so I'm never going to get the Golden Play Award. I can tell you that. That's never going to happen. I know I'm never going to get is a yearbook that talks about my beginnings to where I'm at now, because I'll never meet the standard of how many followers or how much looking or watch time your upload live stream shorts do, and I don't truly care. And someone might ask, and they'll say, Jordan, why did you never get yourself gelded or income? First off, way too many oversights to follow. First, you have to meet the standard, and I don't have enough looking or enough watching on any of my uploads, live streams, or shorts. So I never get in. Two, way too many oversights. You've got all these sundriest gelded or income oversights to meet. Then you have all these showing oversights, and they keep on shifting all the time. They shift more than followership oversight. They shift more than being a business friend oversight. And do I really want to worry about getting some Google AdSense or Google, what we'll call it, show fought, just so I can worry about income coming? No, don't want to really worry about any income being taken out in my behalf or gather right here and there, and then worry about when I get the sheets like I'm bookkeep, file and bookkeep, all that shit. No, thank you. And then have to worry about what I said or what I did in my films when I'm uploading them, because even though my films might not be shower friendly or whatever, or you can't make any gallon on this uploads or live streams or shorts because you sneezed in it or you burped in it or you cursed in it or whatever the hell, or just lose it because they want to take it away from you. So I don't want to go for any of that shit, and I'll never meet that standard. So yeah, I don't care about it. It was never my goal. So need be, I can never get the shop. But do I really want to be answerable to hold folks shipping names and then ship out shit and then be answerable for gal too? Oh, so big deal. I don't get a over shout out box. You know, big deal. I don't get to have bullshit showing everywhere. Big deal about that. Oh, so I should have a yielded followership so folks will yield to me each month so I can show them uploads and live streams and shorts that the non-yielding followers don't see. Bullshit. No, I don't want to go for any of that. So yeah, if somebody else wants to go through that and meets all the standards and wants to deal with all those downsides, let them. Because I don't think there's any upside to being gelded or incomed, at least not on Euro, there's not. The only upside that the Euro business friends or business helpers can say is you get gelded. Yeah. And if that's the only upper side you get, that's all they can tell you. That's the only good thing they can tell you. Everything else isn't really that good. They don't say, oh, you get a shop. Yeah, so you can sell shit to folks and then be answerable for their shipping names and their gallon and what you're shipping out to them. Oh, so no. So I can get one of those ugly play awards one day. Oh no, thank you. So I can get a dumb yearbook like I'm back at Learn. Hey, here's you started out, Jordan, 12 years ago, talking about why McDonald's gets mistakes on your food. And here you are now. Yeah. Not knowing any of that shit. Well, I got 4 folks watching, if they are watching or not. 3 thumbs up, if that means anything. Now let's go look at all the settings that they give you, and I oath to you some of these settings are broke and don't do anything. We know end the stream really truly ends the stream. Share What do you share? The live stream, the feed, the film. The other one calls share screen. Well, the truth is I don't really want to do that because I think it would be hard to get out of it if I shifted on it. What would I be sharing with the share screen? Showing folks things that they can't see. Yeah, that's a real fun setting. We know I hit that and hushes everything. But here's some settings that don't do shit. All right, it goes set up a over. It says set up a overlay for your brakes. Well, I don't really need to set any brakes because guess what? I'm not a Euro mate, a Euro friend, or a Euro business helper, or business friend. So why am I setting this up for? I'm just going to read it. It says overlay needs to introduce third gathering folks on the work. It may show itself. Oh yeah, well guess what? I'm not a mate, so that's not going to do anything. So they gave this to me, but I'm not a Euro friend or a Euro helper. So why they gave this to me, I don't know. I guess they thought they were being kind. But that's not going to do anything. I don't have no showing, so I won't be setting up any breaks for anything. Now up here we got some other cool settings that don't do shit, like run. Click on it. Yeah, that's broke. It doesn't do nothing. This right here says you do not have any setup to this setting. Yeah, well, oh yeah, so this is broke. This doesn't do nothing. Half of this shit here doesn't do nothing. It says here, do a whatever, where this stands for. Board, I don't know. And feedback. So they give you a lot of shit, but half of the shit doesn't work. You know, it says night. Yeah, I don't want that. Okay, out of there. So at the end of the day, none of those tools really do anything. One setting I don't have, the other ones are just there for show. So they don't really give you a whole lot to work with. Let's see what else we got here. We got skim, but that's just if you want to go through, and shift the name and what you wrote about it and the likeness you took and your settings. Or if you want to put a date down, yeah, I'll put a date down. I forgot to do that before I made the film. That's the only thing I have to do. But at the end of the day, it's not much. So yeah, getting back to what I was talking about earlier about my writing, I'm not that good with it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do like my writing, and I do like it. But I don't think I'm in. But I don't. But the where I'm not good at with my writing is that I'm not good with sales, not good with coming up with sagas and tales about why this happened or why this happened to so and so, what they're going to do. Yeah, the way that I write is like a beginner, but I've been writing that way for 42 years of my life, so it is what it is. But show playing, yeah, I'm good at that. And I didn't have to go to no learn guild or learn followership to be a show player. You know. And I only do films and shows and showings. I don't do plays, so do not ask me if I ever did any plays because I don't do them. You know. Well, now see, I just lost everyone I have. You see, this is how you know when your work is boring. When you start out with 4 folks watching, or you believe there are 4 folks watching because you never know, and then they start leaving on you. You know. Well, sorry about that. So now I'm going to talk about something that happened. This will at least will have been 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess 5 years ago. This would have been back in 2020 while, and now COVID was happening everywhere. What I'm talking about, I made a live stream, and this would have been about 5 years ago. I had all my friends on, all my dolls friends, because we were all whatever. And so it was a Tuesday, I think, or a Wednesday. It must have been a Tuesday. And we're going through all of this. And next thing I know, I get told that this live stream goes against followership oversight. But since it was a warning, I didn't lose any of my good standing. I didn't lose all the rights, like the right to upload, or the right to stream, or the right. Well, I didn't have a live speaker at the time, so I couldn't make any shorts, but you know what I mean. And every once in a while, will year gate one of my uploads, and I say I don't care as long as it doesn't take my good standing away. And they'll take some of my films down, but then they'll say, okay, these films go against the followership oversight, but hey, we're not going to strike you. So I should be thankful for that, you know, because I know what, yeah. So every time I do a live stream, I always get worried that something I say or do is going to be sent. And no, I'm not going to guilt it on some bullshit fake mind, because that was always the forgiveness. They're like, oh, during 2020, when shit was fucking up, that was the forgiveness. Well, there's always things going wrong on this website from time to time, and you can't guilt it on the fake mind, which is bullshit. So, we're also going to talk about a bug that you think would have been gone. 20 years, you think by 20 years it'd be gone, but no. First, films getting stuck and filleting, which was an old bug that's been around for at least 20 years. And it doesn't make your live streams get stuck, but it'll like to make your uploads get stuck and your shorts get stuck, and God forbid your podcasts get stuck too. And you would think after 20 years this wouldn't be a thing anymore. But every once in a while, it likes to show up again and says, "Hey, you forgot about me? The filleting bug. Well, don't forget about the near kin of this bug called the flow upload bug." Now, let's say you make a upload or a live stream or a short or a podcast, and your interweb speed is great, wired, wireless, whatever. And you upload it, and then the film either gets stuck in uploading or takes a long time to upload. That's when you know it's an upload bug. The flow upload bug, it either does one of the two things. It either will fuck with your uploads and get them stuck, or make them take too long to upload, either sometimes on the website, but sometimes it likes to do it on the tool, on the Y speaker. And you'll say, oh, well, need be you. And you'll hear folks say things like, oh, well, the file's too big. Well, I didn't shift the size. I didn't shift how big the file was. Oh, need be you made the film's upload. You made the film too fast. Yeah, I didn't shift how fast or how slow the film's being filmed. So, and a lot of folks will guilt it on your shit. But mostly, almost all the time, it's the website having some fuck up. So, that's how that goes. Now, you want to know why they never talk about it? At least my belief, why they don't talk about it on the Crafter Insider or Maker Insider, and I'll tell you why. Because in their belief, that would be boring to talk about the upload bug, the flow upload bug, or the bug that makes films get stuck in uploading, or the bug that makes films get stuck in delaying. Because that's old. They don't want to talk about anything old, and that happens every day. So they don't want to come up and say, "Oh, by the way, this is still going on after 20 years." At least that's my belief to why they don't say anything about it. You know. So yeah, as you can see, you know, and some folks might say, why you should shift the loudness setting on your web shooter. Well, this is the way the web shooter comes out like. That's the way that it films. At least the web shooter from my Reckoner films that way. Now the web shooter from my Y speaker films another way. And I have no running lead of how loud or how unloud it is. Because folks would bring that up. They'd say, it looks like you're kind of talking like this. Well, that's the way it picks it up like. And I should be thankful that this web shooter right here, which I got from Ollie's this month last year, is still working well. So that's how that goes. Well, let's read what I got in the shout out box, and maybe someone new will come on to see something. Jordan, there was a great round over saga with Xena today. Hey, Jordan Long, that's a great t shirt. Hi, Jordan. Cool stream. Gave thumbed up like. And that's everything that was written down so far. And then it goes, welcome to live talk. Think. You can give your withdrawal settings. And also, as long as they sit with followership oversight, learn more. Yeah. Well, now I'm back to only having one folk watch. You know, sorry that this live stream isn't as glee as other folks' live streams from the web shooter from their Reckoner or the web shooter from their far speaker would be. Sorry that I don't have all the cool lighting or the cool lighting works. Sorry I don't have, some, shit to keep folks from leaving. But I do like my work. And at least I don't have to worry about ownership and double right. Because all this shit right here is all owned by me. So I'm not worried about ownership. I'm not worried about double right. But I don't give a shit about my double right. But I'm not worried about ownership and double right because, yeah, someone's going to say, oh, Mattel. Yeah, but Mattel made this doll for anyone to gather, show off, play with, whatever. So I'm not worried about that. You know? So anyway, it is what it is. So, and here's something you should not really trust: fair work. Fair work is a thing, but it's only to be worked if you have to go to see a gathering high diva, and then you say that your work was fair work. The way if you got law work for ownership of double right. But beyond that, fair work will not shield you from someone flagging your work. It is what you say when a law work goes on you and you go to a Gaver High Diva, either your lawyer says it or you say it. I think this work is fair work, and then you just hope that the High Diva and the oath takers see it as that way. But I don't trust fair work either. Hi, Jordan. You're looking awesome today. Well, thank you. Thank you, Katrina. It's not Katrina, it's Katrina. Thank Katrina. You know, thank you for coming on this live stream. You know, as I say, I don't trust fair work. You know, and they would be, and the only time that you ever say fair work is if you ever get a law work over ownership and double right. Then either you or your lawyer, but then again, I can't afford one anyway, goes to some Gaver High Diva and goes, my lordship or my ladyship, I think that my work meets fair work. And either they look at it and it meets the standard of fair work or it doesn't. But real at the end of the day, fair work will not keep you shielded from someone flagging you. So you are Dwayne. Yes, that's right. My name is Dwayne. I hope I spelled your name right. Yes, you did. Yes, you did, Katrina. You did, Katrina. You did, Katrina. My set, yes, not Katrina, Katrina. Yeah, you did, Katrina. You spelled my name right. Yeah, I've been doing Sailor Moon for about 12 years. I've been in a Sailor Moon for about since 2008. Why? I've been doing Sailor Moon for 12 years. Jordan Long for about 12 years. But I did Rainbow Bright since the first month of this year. TWF been doing that since between 93 YL. But only been on Euro since 2012 YL though. I've been doing the mic keyboard about 11, about 12, about between years. Yay, you look awesome too. Well, thank you. You know. Now Jordan said we're gonna have to talk. Now Jordan said we're gonna have to talk about something. You know. So I know that someone will most likely ask, and they'll say, "Well, why, Jordan? Why don't you skim your work? Why don't you clean or shift your work? Takes too much time." You know, let's say all you want to do is make your film brighter, but that never seems to work well because all it does is make your film more brighter if it's dark. Well, it's not going to brighten your film up. Put it that way. You want to make your film brighter. You want to make it darker. I don't know. Maybe you want to put a beginning or end sheet to your work. I don't know. Whatever you want to do. It can whatever. It can be some film skimming tool from your Reckoner or your Far speaker, whatever. And the big kicker is the shit either takes too long to fillet or it makes the film get stuck in uploading or filleting afterwards. Or let's say you want to cut something. And I'm going to tell you my saga, but I've told it many times. So I've had run through with these so called film skimming tools, and I don't trust any of them anymore. The first one I dealt with for most of my life was SmallSoft Windows Filmmaker, which was everything from Windows 95 till Windows 7. Well, you were born in between 96 YL, so you may have seen some of those other windows, which I've seen a lot of almost all those windows. But anyway, and I was born in between 84 YL, so it makes me 41. So anyway, then after that, the film with SmallSoft Windows Filmmaker, yeah, it would always take too long to fillet the file. It would. We'd say all you did was make it brighter or put a beginning or end sheet to your film. Take too long to fillet. And if you want to cut something out, it'll be a hit and miss. So this is about between years ago when the TWF fairway was starting out. I cut a film and it worked so good that I do it again and it goes, oops. You can't do anything with the film before and after the cut. So I said, okay, that's it. I'm done doing that shit. Then I also had at one time ArcSoft film for layer, ArcSoft web shooter friend. Well, that's a lie right there. They can make your film brighter, darker. They give you a beginning or end sheet, but neither of the ArcSoft tools, not web shooter friend, not film for layer, they will not cut nothing out. You hit the double blades, nothing would happen. The only good thing they could do is, fillet your file faster. And then the last film skimming tool I got to work with, because I had all kinds of reckoners over the years. The last film skimming tool I ever worked with was Cyberlink Power Director or Interweb Feed Strength Overseer. Well, the one I got was broken. Didn't do nothing. All I could do is film. So that's why I don't work with any of these film skimming tools. No need if they be free or not. And folks are going to say, oh, because those are all the shitty ones. They're all shitty. None of they all are. You know. And if you're one of the lucky folks that get your tools to work for you, great. God bless you. But it's never going to be good for me. And I'm just yielding for someone to tell me that I'm wrong about this. But I think they're all shitty. Yeah, I would be slayed every once in a while to go look on the small soft, shop on Windows 11 or the Google Play on Google Android just to see what film skimming tools they have. Yeah, I'd say just because like you really want to do, I was like, you want to go for all this shit where it either takes too long to fillet a file, doesn't make your film brighter, dark enough, doesn't make the end sheet good enough, the end sheet good enough, or hits and miss when it comes to cutting things out. I think you want to go through that? No. Now, some folks are going to say there's the Euro one. And the only one the Euro one seems to be good at is making an end sheet. And that's it. And I know need be that doesn't make my work, watchable for some folks. But hey, it is what it is. You know? So if someone wants to tell me I'm wrong about, let me know. Well, here you can see right here was one of the Mulan books I got. And that's my middle name, by the way, is Mulan. You know. And here you can also see the Rhea book as well that I got. Well, Jordan said, I don't behave like most women behave. And I'll tell you why. I don't have a handbag. I mean, I got things, but I don't need to have a handbag to put every single thing in it. And I never got my ears pierced. Yeah, never was really into that. Well, I just gave you my. Now, if someone can tell me that I'm wrong about any one of those film skimming tools that I talked about, but I don't think any of them are going to be wrong because anyone who's watching this live stream knows that I'm right. They know that they're not really that good, and if they somehow skilled it, well, like I say, God bless you if you skilled it. You know. Oh, and they take too much time. Yeah. I just like to make my film and get it up there. Either, through the web shooter through my Reckoner or the web shooter through my Wise Far speaker. And it takes too much time. You know? And there are some folks in this world, well, haters, trolls, whatever you want to call them, that I tend to believe that the haters and trolls only were doing shit because, well, they had nothing good to do and that their work wasn't as good as mine, so they wanted to put me down or make themselves feel good. But I do forgive all the haters and all the trolls for everything they say and do. I don't hold I don't hold wrongs against anyone. So it is what it is. And I must be doing something right with these fairways because I got folks that like my work. Now it's true they don't watch they don't watch every upload live stream and short that I ever made going back. That's true. They got busy lives and you wrote a big website. But I'm thankful for those who do watch my work. But then again, a lot of folks always will say all kinds of things. And sometimes I always see I got free folks watching, free thumbs up. And I know you're asking, well, you're like, why aren't you doing this live stream through your Wise Far speaker for the Euro toll? Because I'm lighting up the cell pack right now. That's why. It was at like 81, and if I started doing it, be in the 70s and the 60s. You know? And if anyone is still watching and wants to say something about, so there is this tool and setting, I talked about it many times, it's called Talk Back. And I think it's badly set up. First, you get into it all by mistake. Now, if you're someone who can't see or can't hear, and you want to seek to make the Wise speaker work for them, then that's all good. But here's where Google and Apple make the mistake is they make it where it's hard to run it. Because when you get into this tool, it will start saying shit to you, but it won't let you do anything. It'll be like, you're going in a call, you're going in a Euro, you're starting over, you're shutting down, you're sending a wire, you're sending a tide. Why does TalkBack just tell you what you're doing and then handicap you from doing it? That's a bad setup. And the first time I got into this tool by mistake was like some months ago when all I wanted to do was upload a film. This was a Sailor Moon film. And next thing you know, the bullshit tool shows up. So then, like last month, I want to make the film louder. And it was a Sailor Venus film with Artemis, talking about where they went that day. And the fucker shows up again. Forgive my English. And it was almost took forever to get out of it. So I went in and I took the screen reading tool, the talk back to all that shit. I shifted it out. I went to the Google Play, wherever it was, and I took it out. So yeah. So yeah, that's like a badly set up tool. I mean, yes, they do got a tool like that for Windows and Linux and Chrome OS and Firefox OS. They do. And Mac OS as well. But you see, at least with that screen reading tool or that talk back tool, it just talks back to you. It just reads the screen. But it doesn't stop you from working Windows or Mac OS or Linux or Chrome OS or Firefox OS. It doesn't stop you from working the Reckoner though. That's you see if they see Forever Grounds, it's just badly made for Wise speakers. For Wise far speakers or just far speakers that are not Wise. And so I get to another tool or setting I don't have. You know how everybody thinks if they've got Google Android, they think they're meeting the standard for everything? Well, think again. There was this tool called Eurocraft, which is just the Euro Tools offshoot of the thing on the website, which lets you, I don't know, end sheet your films, or whatever, or, well, I did not meet the my Google Android did not meet the standard to take on that tool. So every time I gotta make a film, if I'm doing it from the wise far speaker for the Euro tool, then I gotta go on the website and then sheet it because my Google Android did not meet the standard. And yes, I know it's Motorola and it should have been Samsoft or LG, you know, whatever. So that's why of that. So you don't meet the standard for everything. And one time Trina, or is it not? It's Katrina, no, Katrina. Katrina, there was that time when you said that he had to take it on. Well, guess what? Mine don't meet the standard, so I couldn't take it on if I wanted to. You know. Whew. All right. Well, Jordan says it looks like that. It looks like Jordan says that I don't really know if anyone else is coming on here, on this live stream. I have 3 folks watching, but you don't know if they are followers of your fairway or newcomers. So there's really no way to know. It said, "What's your beloved cast?" That's hard to say if I have a beloved cast or not. I don't know if I got a beloved cast, you know. I guess I like all the cast because I don't really think I have a beloved cast. I don't know if that answers your asking thing. Sorry about that. Um, well, all right. What else we got here? Yeah, sorry, I'm not gonna skim that or cut it out or shift it out though. So if you are one of those folks that, gonna make a thing about it, it said, "Yes, bro. How are you?" Well, I'm doing well. And I guess you're doing well yourself then. Thank you. You know. Well, all right. I guess I'll have to bring this live stream to a close because I don't to an end. Get out of here, close. I don't want that French's borrowed word. Get back down the underground. I guess I bring this live. Guess I'll bring this live stream to an end. I mean, I got 4 folks watching, and it goes, Jordan Long. How much gal does it take to get? I don't know. A lot of things here came from sundry shops over the years, thrift shops, Walmart, Amazon. That's where all of that comes from. But I can't tell you how much gal it takes to buy all these things because everything has their own worth on it, you know. It said, well, I do not. You're asking me? If you're asking Dwayne, then Dwayne doesn't work. He never worked full time or half time. And I know there's going to be some folks out there that are going to guilt him or shame him for not working full time or half time. If there are folks out there that are going to shame or guilt someone for not working full time or half time, then, well, this isn't a live stream for you then. Sailor Moon and Rainbow Bright. No, I do not work. Dwayne does not work. He doesn't work half time, doesn't work full time. And if you want to know why he doesn't, well, first off, making mistakes, being forgetful, which happens to all. Everyone makes mistakes and forgetful. No big deal if you're at learn, depending on what kind of mistakes you make at learn. No big deal if you're at home, I guess. But work makes a big deal out of it. Make a mistake here, forget here, no big deal. But every day a mistake happens and that a mishap happens or you forget, you're fired. And it's more smoothly to lose work than it is to get work. And then have to worry about income toll. Yeah, got to worry about how much they're taking out for you in your behalf or to gather right share near law moats. Got to worry about bookkeeping that income toll. No, thank you. But the truth is, my mistakes that I make, forgetfulness from time to time, making mistakes, mishaps. And that's why I said no to working. And if you are going to make a big thing out of it, you can leave then. Because I have dealt with folks on the interwebs over well, since I've been on Euro, they made a big thing out of it and they shouldn't have. You know? Nah, Jordan's like, I tell you, I'm woman, Jordan says. I'm 42, Jordan says. Yeah, I'm a 42-year-old Mattel Barbie doll. Sorry for that burp. Yeah. Well, good thing that I'm not. It said, yes, I ate today. I had breakfast. I had midday meal. I had an evening meal. So, yes, I did eat today. You know, well, good thing that I'm not a Euro business friend or a Euro business helper because those yawns and those burps would have run off the showers. Oh, when you can't buy time on those films, he yawned and burped. It said, anything good you have for food? I got peanut butter and jam sandwiches. Then I had Tyson chicken strips, but that was for, and then I had tacos, or whatever the English word would be for those. I guess we'll call them binded sandwich or something. So I don't know why you want to talk about what I ate. You know, it said I had a sandwich and chips for midday meal. What was your thoughts on? Oh, I'm not going to talk about this. Sorry, I'm not going to talk about that. No, we're not going to talk about it. Sorry. There's just some things I'm not going to talk about my live stream. so someone can get irked or angered at me and say, oh, you said this or you said this about that, you know. So I'm not going to go through it. Yeah, Jordan said, I'm not going to talk about, about lawmaking. Because someone out there might take it the wrong way and then make a big thing out of it, you know? So yeah, not going to talk about that. Well, I got 5 folks watching now. That's good to know. You know, you had that. That's good to know. Well, Jordan said I want to all they want to thank everyone for coming on this live stream. You know, going on the shout out box. You know, thumbing up the live stream. Sorry, I don't know why would I. Sorry, I didn't share the share or do a screen share any of those settings. We love you, Jordan. Well, I love you too. You know, before I go, one setting I didn't do is share. What does that do? Is that like share the film or the upload or the live stream or short? I don't know. And then there's called, share screen. There's called share screen, which I don't know what that's all about. And we all know that that wouldn't really help anyone. Because what would that be like? Sharing the screen so other folks can see everything that you're seeing, what you're seeing, or watching what you're watching? I don't know. I don't know. It goes, all right. Well, I'm doing well today. Thank you.